Hello and welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. Hello to those of you watching live on Twitch, and if you are watching on YouTube, be sure to join us live nearly every day of the week from 2 p.m. all the way through to the 8 p.m., which is the last slot, which is what we are rocking and rolling with here today, right now. This is part 2 of our The Spy Game 2-shot, which has been brought to us by the wonderful Black Cats Gaming. But before we talk about that, why don't we go around and meet our cast and crew, figure out who we are and who we're playing. Let's start with the wonderful DM Corey. How are you doing?
I am stellar. I just came off another stream, so I am amped. I've been drinking energy drinks and keeping myself ready to go. Yeah.
Awesome. And who will you be playing tonight?
Oh, I mean, I'm playing the Crypt Keeper. I'm a hacker. I'm a young teen guy. I'm only like 17 or so. You know, if you ask me, I'm really hot with the ladies. If you ask them, I'm really hot with the ladies. Why would you ask them? But mostly, I like to talk with my Uber Micro. It's about the skills. It's about the skills. Yeah, if you ever saw me on a computer, you really understand. But you probably wouldn't even understand what I was doing.
No, probably wouldn't. Speaking of not understanding what you're doing, wow, that's a harsh transition. Hollow, how are you doing?
Pain, hurt, but other than that, other than the immediate pain from that, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. It's good to be back again. I'm looking forward to playing the Face, known as Mimic, who is a sort of a spy kind of character, like we all are secretly, but also is a Hollywood actor and got into some shenanigans last time with the Apprentice that we were in. He's having some issues
Don't
with
you know
his
who
fame.
I am?
You know who I am. Famous. I'm in the movies.
For those wondering, Rush and the Mimic have a friendly rivalry, so it's all right for me to say that, you know, he lacks some skills in some areas, right?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But not lacking in skills in any areas. Bertie Saurus, how are you doing today?
Oh my goodness, I'm great. I don't know about that skill thing, but I'm doing well. I am playing the Medic, codename Saturn, and I will be able to hopefully fix all the problems you guys have gotten yourselves into. We'll see. It's a bit of a mess right now, but I'm going to try to come in and help out a little bit. We'll see.
This is why we brought you in today. We needed the rescue team. And talking of those who are face palming really hard, Sam, how are you doing? Are you excited for tonight?
You caught me by surprise. I'm trying to look up the Medic while
Sorry.
Patty was talking. I was like, oh, I need to go background things. No, I'm good. Let's take these off. Hello, everyone. I'm all right.
Oh, hello.
I'm good. Hello. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Good. Awesome. So before we do dive into the spy game, why not mention our sponsor, the Spy Game? It's a 5e compatible spy game using espionage, action, clandestine organizations, secret agencies, and more. You take on the role of a spy, running intel and engaging in wet work, which still hasn't been explained to me. But you ensure the security of the world from corrupt governments and the evil machination of rogue villains. It's coming to Kickstarter tomorrow, July 2nd at 5 p.m. UK, I believe. Black Cats Gaming will correct me in chat if not. Right now, though, you can check out the Quickstarter PDF for free on DriveThruRPG. And if you do, don't forget to leave a review. Also want to shout out Virtual Tabletop of Choice Fantasy Grounds. We're not using it tonight. We're using some real dice, but go check that out. It's free. It's a wonderful resource in which you can display maps, share info, roles, macros, all sorts of things. Really great. If you like playing with real things like dice, and you like miniatures, for example, check out Wayland Games, waylandgames.co.uk. There's a huge range of D&D, Warhammer, 40k minis, and more for up to 20% off of the regular retail price. And speaking of dice, Tabletop Loot, they do incredible dice, and when we hit 20 retweets, we're going to give away a set. So hit that retweet button, and we're going to try and give you some dice. There are other ways you can obviously interact with our game tonight. You can donate to affect the game by giving the players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and of course there is the Table of Pets, which is one of my favorite features. I think Rush deserves a pet. Maybe a real life Pikachu? Maybe? And if there is a moment on tonight's show that you enjoyed, clip it. We love sharing these on Twitters. On Twitters? Sure, on the Twitters. And making GIFs and more. Without further ado, why don't I hand you back to Sam and we will get to find out a little bit more about the spy game.
All right, so we left off last week in Trafalgar Square. The agents were undercover as the apprentice contestants, and they were trying to infiltrate protest that was going on in London at the time about identity surveillance, privacy, online privacy, stuff like that, to do with governments and the police getting their information. The agents that we have amongst us here were basically employed by MI5 to infiltrate those protests and make sure that nothing went bad for those protesters. They had some information that there were some bad actors there. There were some extremists who were looking to target the protests in order to kind of turn things sour and basically try and make the same case but in a violent manner. And that's not what we wanted. So things just turned bad. And we've had a little bit of a scuffle up near the National Gallery where the agents were pitched with their van and all their bottled water. And so we had a fight on our hands. A few of the extremists got on top of the National Gallery's kind of front porch roof. And then on top there, Rush climbed up the side of that to get onto the roof and pushed over a granny, I think, and dealt with a guy.
I did. I knocked Chelsea Granny off the roof.
Yeah. And then also managed to pummel Jaws into the, or a guy with a Jaws mask, like Jaws a la James Bond, into the ground. But Oddjob is still on guard, like next to you, while Mech Nelson got down from Nelson's column because thanks, chat, and headed down into Trafalgar Square and then back up onto the National Gallery to help Rush out. Decrypt rushed to a local kind of aerial kind of hub node type thing in order to try and cut communications in the area. And we had Mimic, who was trying to kind of dull the crowds a little and try and calm them down with his incredible exclamation mark diplomacy skills. But that's not what I want to focus on right now. Right this second, I want to talk about our newest operative to enter the scene. This is going to be Saturn, who is the medic. So Buddy, like we did with the others at the top of last session, what I want to do with you is just go through your background stuff and make some choices or some original creative decisions about the character. So your background for Jen is government. We already have a code name as Saturn, so what I would like you to do is tell me the nationality of Saturn.
Saturn is from Mexico.
Nice. Cool. And then you have a choice of 3 languages to speak. Which would you like to speak?
English, Spanish, and French, please.
Okay. And then all agents have a double life in the spy game. So this is their life that they lead outside of the agency. It could be quite private. It could be a different profession. It could be a different vocation, even something like that. The choices I've got for you here is that you lead government research in bioweapons, cybernetics, warfare psychology, and that's kind of like an options tick box of 3 options. And then you can also tell me who that's for. So either which agency, which government, which kind of organization.
Okay. I definitely want it to be bioweapons.
Cool.
That is 100% what I had in mind for a medic involved in espionage.
Right,
and then, yeah, as far as who, I want to say it's a shadow organization that I've been dealing with for about 10 years now, but even I don't know where they begin because it goes so deep.
Okay, nice.
Secret. It's a council from all over the world.
That's all shadow organizations should be.
Yes.
Awesome. It works really well as well with the archetype that we've got for the preacher, which is the chemist stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. And then every agent has a secret. So this is something that maybe only they or like a handful of people know that could really land them in trouble and be used against them if they were captured. So your options here are: my government has a secret program of genetic manipulation, or blank is a near perfect double. So that could be like a person who has like a double, like it could be like a double of a president or a dignitary, or it could be like a business person or something like that.
Ooh. I think Anderson has a near perfect double.
I mean, of course.
Yeah.
You've never seen the same room twice, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Your ideal then? So the ideal and bond is as per the usual kind of 5e stuff. So we've got your ideal here. There's a couple of options for you. Disease doesn't discriminate, and neither should our healing. Or discretion is the better part of espionage.
Definitely discretion.
All right, nice. And your bond here is no one gets left behind. So how would you like to appear in this scene?
Well, first, I would like to ask a question.
Sure.
Am I the only one that found it incredibly ironic that these people who were protesting governments getting their information used Facebook to organize? They're not very... I, as a spy, believe these people are not very intelligent. So I'm coming in with a little bit of an attitude.
I mean,
and go ahead.
You've met the general public, right? There's that saying that like a person is intelligent, but people are stupid.
Right. Well, I think that Saturn definitely has a bit of a superiority complex because he's a little bit older. He's in his like late 40s, so he's been around the block a few times. He knows some things, and he feels like this is these people. And so, in terms of how he enters, you know how mall cops have Segway scooters that they ride around on?
I mean, I do now. That is a gem.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They have little Segway scooters that they run around in. And I gotta think that by now, the government and the SWAT teams and the police, they've all figured out how valuable these tools could be. I mean, they move quick, they're nimble, they get you into where you need to be, they're small. So he actually has been gifted or loaned a SWAT team's Segway. So it says SWAT across the front with one of those big shield windows, and he's coming in with he's got on like a SWAT jacket that, you know, someone let him borrow or something because he wants to feel like he's safer than he actually is. So he comes trundling in on his little Segway, ready to save the day, or a few people at least.
All right, nice. I like to imagine there's that kind of like overlay and like jaunty angles and like really cool
yeah, exactly.
Saturn is 100% the hero we don't deserve, but the one we need.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's definitely some super intense spy music going on in the background while this happens. Dun, 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 with all the different angles. Yeah.
All right, so you come off Pall Mall East onto the kind of northwest side of Trafalgar Square, just in front of the National Gallery. Because you've got this like SWAT on the front of your Segway, and because you've got one of the kind of SWAT jackets, we don't have like SWAT like on the back or anything, but you've probably got like, they've probably been embellished with like the big like Metropolitan Police logo on the front because they're so proud
like
of this new
armed
initiative.
police across the back.
Yeah. That you're getting quite a lot of attention from protesters now at this point near, and getting a fair amount of abuse, stuff thrown at you, that kind of stuff, as the tone has got really bad. Just as you've entered, you, as everyone have heard an explosion down towards the Mall. So that's down towards the south, just the kind of like southwest, just where the protests kind of came from. The Mall leads down, right down to the end of it is Buckingham Palace. So with Odd Job at the top of the roof with you, Rush, we are going to go over to you, and we are going to keep in this initiative order. Charlie at the top, and then Birdie, I'm going to put you in Will's position, who was second. As you just jumped in.
Yeah, get in here, Saturn.
And then Corey, you're third. And then Processors are in next, fourth, 14. And then Hollow, I'm afraid you're at the bottom still, trying to do your diplomacy shenanigans.
Trying. Keyword.
All right. Charlie, it is over to you. You've got Odd Job facing you.
Yeah, I'm going to unarmed strike him by kicking him in the crotch. Because he needs to go down. We're done. People are falling off the roof. This cut is not acceptable. We just got to drop him quick. And there is no quicker way to drop a man than to kick him in the crotch.
All right. That's not a specific key feature, is it, though?
No, I'm just using unarmed strike. I'm just directing. Fair. So you can make it harder if you like.
That sounds like
11 plus 4. That's 15 to hit for me.
All right. I believe that's a hit. I need to check my notes. It's my protesters. Here we are. It does indeed hit.
And I do a massive 2 plus 2, 4 points of kicking damage, bludgeoning damage to the crotch.
And he winces in pain.
Well, I was aiming for a little bit more than a wince, but all right. Sure.
You catch him on the thigh. He's not quite been punted properly. Any other key features
Still
you want to do?
a cod piece down there. No, I only have 1 key point left after last session when I was getting nifty bouncing off a Nelson. So that's it, I believe.
All right.
Hang on, do I have a bonus action that would be useful? No, I think that's it.
No, so I mean,
get
martial
into
arts,
ready position.
Yeah, it works very similarly to the monk. So we've got stuff like the key points, those features, that kind of stuff. And also your unarmed attacks are the 1d4 damage rather than the point, plus your strength modifier.
Mm-hmm.
We've got like flurry of blows.
Oh wait, I can make another one as a bonus action.
Yeah?
When you use the attack action with an unarmed strike or a one-handed melee weapon on your turn, you can make 1 unarmed strike as a bonus action. So I could punch him with my hand.
All right, nice. So, oh yeah.
That's a dirty 20 from Rush. 2 punch.
Nice. That is another hit.
And that's another 4 points of bludgeoning damage as I upcut his nose to try and break it, blind him.
Nice. The mask soaks a little bit of that, but you do crack him in the face good, and he stumbles back a little bit into Mech Nelson's leg and bounces off. All right.
I say, sit down and stay down.
Nice.
And then I yell it in Russian to emphasize my point.
Okay.
No, I say sit down and stay down. And then in Russian to emphasize my point. I forgot they had an accent for this character, but it's fine. We're back. We're here.
That's all right.
Carry on.
I'm immersed.
Thanks for reminding me, Sam.
Birdie, you're up with Saturn. What does he want to do first?
So, I believe we have a Google truck sitting nearby, correct?
Yes, it was like Google Maps, right? Sponsored by.
Yeah. Yes. And I think I'm going to go into I'm going to doodle over to the Google truck, and I'm going to get behind it so no one can see me. I'm going to strip off my SWAT gear because I don't want anyone to see the SWAT gear anymore. I'm incognito because I'm a good spy. And so I'm going to jump into the Google truck. And I want to attempt to take whatever I have to make a concoction that I could use to put people to sleep.
All right. Lucky for you, the van's been fitted out with some of this gear.
Yes.
And you've kept some of your concoction making stuff here too. Cool. Right. Yeah. So this is actually the feature, isn't it, for the archetype? So you can create chemical compounds that affect the human body.
Yes.
Given the right tools and components, you can create medicines, toxins, and poisons, nerve agents, and other chemicals that affect the biological processes in living things at the discretion of the GM. So I think this is going to be, to do this quickly, to get the desired effect that you want, so rather than this like non-lethal, particularly as well, is to give you a couple of syringes of stuff. DC 15 medicine check.
Okay. Medicine check. Got it. Let's see. No, I got an 11.
No, okay. So you're working away at it, but it's you haven't quite got the time yet, so you'll be able to make another check if you want to next turn. But it's just taking a little bit longer than you hoped.
Okay.
Any bonus actions? Any other? I think you've kind of done your move essentially.
Yeah, I did a bunch.
Yeah, sure. Cool. Corey, it's up to Decrypt.
Sorry, it was pretty noisy here. Okay, so I turned myself down. All right, so left off, I was attempting to access the terminal to get access into the communication network in the surrounding area, and I needed to continue that process. I was not able to get all the way through on that. Do I need to make another check, or is that what is that? What does that look like?
So this, I think looking back at the VOD from last week, we were talking about like a modify, because you wanted to actually just change stuff up really quickly. What I would say maybe is that if you did the access check, which is one of your hacking actions from your class feature, then you could take a look at the lay of the network software-wise. You can see what's going on there, so you get a better understanding of how to modify or how to disable or stuff like that. So I'd say then, personally, that would lower the DC for later checks.
Okay, yep, I will roll an access.
All right. So this could be DC 5.
Okay. All right, so yeah, that's 15.
Nice. So pretty quickly, having worked their way through these wires, you find the right connections, and it's not a protected network, so you manage to get on to the network. Obviously, as described last week, people's signals for like 4G, stuff like that, they're very patchy at the moment because so many people are trying to access these same network hubs in one place. It's when you just get those kind of blackouts because there are so many people who are in the same place. But what you can also get access to here is some of the police network. They work on a similar system, but just different frequencies. So you are able to get access to the actual some of the hardware that's here, but also a fair amount of the software that actually administrates their like network over London.
Okay. So I'm attempting to access an emergency shutdown protocol for public communications. With access, what is my difficulty going to be to not interrupt it?
So this would be the disable action under your hacking class feature. And I would reduce the difficulty to 10 because of the access, because you've managed to do a little bit of network mapping.
Perfect. I will attempt to disable public communications.
All right.
That's a 14 on the die.
Nice. So I think a 17 overall. Great. So there is no protocol here. You have to do this personally. What weird? Yeah. You have to do the kind of legwork here. So it's very quick hacking work. But what do we see like in like movie style hacking, like lots of tapping on keyboards type stuff? What do you do to disable the actual network itself?
So I ripped the cord directly out of this post and jack it in. Just hook my own Cat5 cable up, hook it up to the back of this laptop. And I'm holding it in one arm, and I'm like one-handing it and using the trackpad with my thumb at the same time. I mean, that's like top tier skill if anybody's familiar. So the screens are just flashing so much between 14 different tabs he's got open. If there's no tools available and everything has to be done in real time, seriously, he's got to reference, copy, paste, drop sections of code in from his own personal hacking library, and is writing a protocol that will access the public communication routines, subroutines on the servers for the local towers, and then shut them down in a well, I mean, if it's already that busy, then it could just really DNS with the cell phone towers, and no signal can go outbound from them to the rest of the network.
Yeah. So you're through your own work bombarding this particular tower with enough data that it just cancels out everyone's signals in this immediate area.
I like
you'll
to
have
think
to go.
it's just one GIF over and over and over of a toaster popping.
Nice. Yeah, just the same duplicate GIF over and over again. You will have to go tower to tower to disable more areas, but you've certainly got the 200-300 meters around this tower completely off grid.
Perfect. Now
And
nobody
because-
will witness us shutting down this insurrection.
And because this tower, I guess they're the same everywhere, but particularly in the UK, lots of different networks will use the same tower infrastructure. That this is a blanket thing. Like there's no individual customers of certain, obscure networks that are getting a better signal suddenly. It's everyone's phone's dead at this point. Cool. All right. That is tons. So I am going to hand it over to protesters and start having a punch at you, Charlie, from Oddjob. So let me roll some real dice, some real chunky dice. I've put my chunky dice from downstairs. Because I'll try and make a good clatter on here. What am I even doing?
Well, in 5e, you roll a d20 to attack and you add your attack modifier. This is usually made up of a base skill and your proficiency modifier.
Thanks.
Welcome.
It is. Thanks, Shirley. Let's come up back.
No!
So that will be 6 damage.
6
Wait.
whole damage.
No, it won't. It'll be their unarmed strike is 1 point of damage multiplied twice to 2, and then add the strength modifier. So it's actually 4. Sorry.
Correct.
There we
Oh,
go.
okay. How does it look? Where does he punch me? Tell me about it.
This guy is just proper East End boxer, and just straight up punch smacks you in the gob.
Oh.
Just on my chin. Bosh. It's just a little trickle of blood. And there's just that shot of you that's like, Leah.
Okay, maybe I deserve that one. Okay. It was a low blow before, I understand.
And a couple of protesters are going to come forward and start throwing stuff at you, Mimic. Sorry. So this... They're not going to be very proficient with this stuff, so just +1 on modifier on my roll here. That's a 2 on the dice, so that's a 3. I doubt that's your armor class. No. Okay, one more. 6, 7. No, awesome.
No, I
Alrighty.
have at least above a 7 and a 2, I think.
Good. That's good. Yeah, and it's really up where you guys are. Saturn being in the van, being a little bit out of the way, and also Decrypt having run kind of through the crowd back towards the actual genuine protesters and towards this mast, that you guys are kind of out of danger. So it's just unfortunately this kind of Rush and Mimic who are taking on the kind of brunt of the kind of violence here in the protest. But it is over to you, Hollow, if you want to do something in return.
God, yeah. So, given he's still in sort of a situation of, kind of stood up, and there's like loads of protesters, and they're throwing things at him. He's kind of committed to this plan now, and he'll just be like, as he hears the explosion and the rest goes on, he will just kind of be like, "Look, if we continue this, we're only going to be giving them more reasons to strike us all down. We have violence, but what does that do for us? We'll get taken down within a day, and then this will mean nothing. We'll just be branded as more rioters, just like the other time. If we want to do something, we need to do this properly."
Nice. It's very impassioned English speech there.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. All right. DC, I think I gave you last time.
He's channeling his Benedict Cumberbatch. Cumberbatch?
Yeah.
Sure, that's his new name.
Cumble Snap. All right, cool. Yeah.
Peels off mask.
I think we joked about that last time, but I think this is exactly who you are. I think the DC I gave you last time was DC 25 because it is like a group of protesters all out for your blood. So
yeah, I have to crit. I understand. So it's fine. All right. Unluckily, I got a 19 plus my persuasion. Do I quite make it? Let's have a look. Plus 5, so I get a 24.
Right. I'm gonna let
so close.
There's like that one protester who threw like your own bottle back at you from the Apprentice gig cover thing. Actually stops and thinks for a minute.
Right.
So you've got one kind of, but the rest are still like incited, I'm afraid.
I'll lower this by 1 at a time.
Yeah, there you go. I'll do.
It's a war of attrition.
Yeah. Any movement you wanted to do? There is smoke now coming from the what was it called? I just found out what it was literally called. On the south side of the kind of roundabout, Admiralty Arch that leads into the Mall, and just behind a kind of set of shops that's along the street to the southwestern side of Trafalgar Square. Just behind that, there's some smoke rising into the sky from the building behind it.
Okay. Yeah, that's rough. Given that there's this scene going on then, and he's still committed to trying to calm down the crowd as he can over time, he's going to try and find a more dramatic place to stand. That's what his movement will be, I think. So he's going to look and kind of be like, what will frame me the best here?
So
it seemed like some compelling lead.
They haven't put up the art piece. They haven't, as they change the art piece on the 4th plinth of Trafalgar Square every so often, they've taken one down, and they were waiting for these protests to happen before they put the next one up. So there is a small stone stage for you about 30 feet away, genuinely, in real life.
Brilliant. In which case he looks at that and like his head will snap to it, and then he'll just look over to wherever he can see sort of Rush fighting on the avenue, and he's just like, "Destiny calls, Rush. Destiny calls." And he'll start running towards it.
Hear that every rear piece. It is Rush's turn.
Right, Oddjob got in a blow, but he needs to stop and he needs to go down, and I'd like to make a grapple, just get a hold of him, and then I'm gonna go from there.
You have both hands free, so there is something called you can do the spy game, and you know about this, but I'll tell people at home. So you can do the spy game. If you've got 2 open hands, then you can restrain somebody, which is a condition in 5e that we just adapted slightly, and that basically means they can do a lot less. So if you actually manage to sneak up on somebody and restrain them, then you can quieten them. They are silently taken, so you can bring them back into a corner, subdue them, or stuff like that. So there is some funky stuff you could do here. So you could restrain them, which means that actually it's just a bit more than a grapple, because grapple only really is their
movement speed.
Their movement speed, right? But this will give them disadvantage on attacks, all that kind of stuff. Let me just get the quick start up here, so I'm speaking with absolute accuracy.
Absolute accuracy, brought to you by Black Cats Gaming.
The restrained condition is a restrained person's speed becomes 0, as you might expect from the grappled condition. They cannot benefit from any bonus to their speed as well. Attack rolls against the restrained person have advantage, so that's for you. While the restrained person's attack rolls have disadvantage. And the restrained person has a disadvantage on dexterity saving throws as well.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna get him in a hold. We're done. No more bloodshed. And that is a 15 for my grapple check, I believe.
Oh, I've got to roll something.
Oh no, it's not. It's a 17 for my grapple check, using athletics.
That's fine. I got a.
Or strain check, I guess.
It's fine. I got a 7.
And if I remember right, Oddjob's like relatively short, so we're probably about the same height with my 5'0" rush. So I grab him. Can I like use a bonus action to drag him back from the edge at least? Use some of my movement to move us back?
Yeah.
Cool. Then
Yeah.
that's what I'd like to do. Just move him back off the roof, hopefully away from low level like line of sight, so people stop seeing people on this roof.
Mhm.
And that'll be my go.
Cool. All right. Then Birdie, it's over to you and Saturn.
Yeah, so Saturn is working away at this this concoction that he's trying to make.
All right. Let's make this DC 5 just to kind of finish things off, I think.
Ooh.
You've done some work already, so.
It's a 9. I rolled a 4. But it's a 9.
It's all right.
So the stuff he's trying to make, you said he's got a couple vials of it, right?
2, yeah.
2 vials. Okay, I'm gonna take 2 of their apprentice branded water bottles and dump out the water and squirt the vials into these water bottles. And I'm gonna close them in such a way that like the top will stay on when I throw it, but as soon as it hits the ground, it's gonna pop off and splash. And then I want to climb up on top of the truck or van and just get up there, and I'm gonna toss both of them out as far away from each other as I think they need to overlap. I don't know how many people they'll get.
All right, you're going to take your movement to get up on top of the van, and just as you're about to throw, just you readying yourself, we're going to move around the initiative again. We're going to go to Corey, and then come back to you there. Decrypt, what's up next?
All right, so looking around anywhere beyond this, I think it's really time to time to help Benjamin make a public statement that's really just here and now. So Mimic, now is your moment. I'm going to try and focus the local PA system / surveillance onto him and get that information to the crowd, just like sort of amplify him.
All right. Okay. So what I would like you to do then is I would like you to make me, let me get your sheet back up here, just so I've got all the actions. I've gone past you. What's going on here? There we go. Let's use one of your tools. So, because you have got a shell code, it's a first level root kit. So this lets you get kind of high privileged access on the target OS. So it basically kind of through the back door looks like that you are a legitimate user who is kind of manipulating and installing stuff onto the operating system. So because you're into this network, you could basically use this tower as a booster to get to the PA system that's on the entrance and around inside the National Gallery. Amplified up, the whole National Gallery will broadcast this signal out audibly into the crowd.
Well, Mimic, this could go really good or really bad, depending on your speed.
Let's
So
hope.
this will allow you to make the modify action from your hacking class feature. Base DC is 15. I'm going to make it 10 for the sake of you having the shell code installed.
All right, so I will install the shell code, and then I'm going to use modify.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 7. There's a 4 on the die.
A couple of the speakers start to kind of putter and spit out some of this signal, but it's not quite getting through. Mimic, through your radio mic, you can somehow hear yourself a little bit on the speakers behind as you're just kind of climbing onto that plinth. Anything else you want Decrypt to do there, Corey, before I move on to the protesters?
I think that's probably. I'm just going to double check, make sure my pistol's still there. Because I'm feeling this is going to get me killed.
Sure. Then protesters time. Oddjob's going to try and get out of your restraint. It's not an attack to do so, so I can still make this without the disadvantage. But Charlie, I'm going to need you to make a athletics strength check. Opposed while he tries to struggles out of your grip, and I'm going to make a strength athletics as well.
It's a 22 to beat.
I got an 18. It's close. So he's putting up a good
I mean, that's
fight.
what I rolled on my die.
Okay. He's putting up a good fight, but you are this judo champion from the Olympics. So, you've got him. I think I'm going to move this down to the floor. So you've had to actually move him into a pin on the floor.
Right.
Just because of the way he struggled, you've actually redirected the energy and had to put him in that pin.
So what I imagine he's done is he's tried to move to the side to worm his way out, and I've just rolled with him and just taken him, just leg out, just tripped him over the leg, gone down on top.
Yeah. And the other protesters that are at the front of the National Gallery have started throwing. They keep throwing stuff at the National Gallery now that Mimic's out of the way, and you can see like flags are being unfurled now, and they're trying to clamber up too, and they're trying to pin them on the front of the National Gallery to drape them right the way over the front of the arch. Hollow, it's your time to shine, my man.
All right, here we go. Yeah, so he's going to look, and he stands on the stage, and there's kind of slight wind rustling his clothing, and he looks over and basically just goes, "People of London, are we really this? Are we such savages that we would resort to such things as violence and placing flags upon buildings? Are we not better than this? Are we not Brits? Come down and we can figure this out. We will send them a message, one that they will have to listen to, not one like this where they can just disregard everything we're trying to do here, all the good work that all of us have come out here to do."
That's beautiful. I'll let you roll with advantage.
Hell yeah.
The DC 20.
All right, so here goes roll number 1. So roll number 1 was not good. It was a crit 1. So roll number 2 is a crit 20. Oh yeah.
The ups and the downs.
So I'll take the 20.
All right. Nice. So you hit the 25. So
hell yeah.
You managed to carouse people around you, and they slowly start to move in calmly, quietly. There are still a couple of protesters at the back behind you at the National Gallery who are still unfurling that flag, but people are starting to listen to you, and you start to have more of a crowd as you start this like impassioned speech. And it's then that you hear sirens. Police vans start to show up, shuttered down the front windscreens, as the white Metropolitan Police, like riot vans, start to drive up, actually reverse up to Trafalgar Square, to around the roundabout. One actually from that road just off from where your Google van is. So Saturn, you're on top of there, able to see them just below you. And then also basically from all directions from this road, out from these vans, riot police start to file out, start to run out in full gear, shields, batons, helmets, visors, all sorts of stuff. And I'm going to roll initiative for them at the top of this round.
Cool.
So it's a 9, and I'm going to add a little bit to them here. So there are 10. So they are going to go penultimately, just before you, Hollow. All right.
All right.
There we go. Charlie, we are to the top of the round for you. You have a chance to act now.
Alright, I'm gonna go and pin to the ground, keeping my weight on him. I'm gonna reach to that fluffy backpack and get my zip tie handcuffs out, because I am done. I have other shit to do that isn't dealing with this guy. So I'd like to basically turn this restraint and just use the zip tie, get his hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you move, I will use the taser on you, which will make you wet yourself, and it will be embarrassing and messy for everyone. So think about that.
All right. I'm going to treat this a bit like a grapple check. So let's roll strength, athletics or acrobatics.
Ugh, that's gross. Can I use my track and field background feature to reroll any strength or dexterity check, but I have to take the rerolled result?
Yeah.
I can only
sure.
do this once per short or long rest. Alright, because I rolled a 7, which isn't great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's on the wall. 17. That's better.
So I got an 18
What
on
did
the
you roll?
die.
No!
That's a 20 on the actual check.
Mhm.
So just as you're about to go for the cable ties, he manages to wriggle out of your pin and is about to stand up. So that was your action. Anything you want to do with your movement or any bonus actions you think?
Does
you
a
can...
grapple action count as an attack action?
Oof, I don't know.
I mean, I'm guessing probably not. Probably not in the spirit of what's going on.
It depends if I might have written as an attack. You never know.
Gonna say I can't speak unless you've written it in different. It's usually a grapple as an attack, but I don't know if you've.
You can
It's
use attack
different,
action to
or-
make a special melee attack. A grapple. Yes, you can.
Oh,
I'd like to
wait, no, I've just read this. With an unarmed strike or a one-handed melee weapon, I didn't do either of those things, so I can't do what I was going to do.
Go on, Charlie.
Can I bonus action punch him because I'm done?
Yeah.
Please. Thank you.
Nice.
No, I can't. 9.
Sorry. He
So
blocks it with
I imagine he wiggles
Yeah.
and she goes to hit him with his elbow and just... Yeah.
All right.
Messy time up here. We're both now going for that taser. Both
Yes.
reaching
It's like-
out.
It's like
Taser.
crash zoom on the taser, and the both of you have like, no, what? And then you're like ready to go for it. All right, Birdie, let's head over to you and see if you want to get some protesters with these narcotics.
Was I clued into who they believed were the bad guys?
Who believed they were bad guys? The Met Police.
Our excellent spy team here. Who they
Yeah,
had
so
identified.
You're all on radio, and you all got
Okay.
little covert earpieces in and stuff, so you can talk and hear freely each other within
Okay.
like a 7-kilometer radius or something daft.
Okay. So how many of these guys are out there? 3 that are not tied up? Or no, they're not tied up. None of them are tied up.
So there were 3 kind of real provokers of this.
Okay.
2 of them have been dealt with. There was Chelsea Granny in the wheelchair who fell off the roof. There was.
She wasn't in the wheelchair when she fell off the roof. Just for clarification.
Oh yeah, she got up. Yeah, that did sound really bad. She nat one and then fell off. Then there was Jaws, who, you punched.
I knocked
Punches
him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there is Oddjob, so guy in an Oddjob mask with a bowler hat, who is currently fighting Rush. There are a couple of protesters down by the National Gallery still trying to put up this flag.
Right. Okay. And the riot police have shown up, but we don't want them really to get involved because that'll make things work. I'm going to throw a bottle. I'm going to save one, though. I'm going to throw one into the group that is going crazy. Try.
All right. Okay.
What's the throw check?
So this would be... Yeah, well, this would be strength. So it's going to be like a simple melee or ranged
Well,
weapon.
if you're throwing an axe, it would be like a dex check, right? If you throw an axe with a dex check.
Thrown, you usually use your own, the same modifier for the melee, so it's strength usually. If it's finesse, then you can use dexterity because you can pick which one of the two you want to use usually. So this is going to be strength. And I guess, well, actually, what I'm going to get you to do, is roll a dex check. A strength check. Add your proficiency modifier. And then I'm going to get you to just roll it against DC 5 just to land it where you want to land it. And then I'm going to roll some dex saving throws for these protesters.
Okay. I rolled a 17, and I have +0 to strength.
Cool. All right. Nice. Well, you land it where you need to land it. All right.
Right, I did.
So let's see a DC 10 saving throw here on dex for these two. That's not the right profile I'm looking at, is it? So that's a no. That one's a yes. So one of them gets it. If I'm gonna get them. If you roll a d4 for me.
Yep.
And then they'll take that damage.
2.
Okay. But they'll also be poisoned. Which, if I remember rightly... Where's my conditions again? Where are we? Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. So they are woozy.
All right.
It's kind of this narcotic isn't so concentrated that you drank all of it and you'd fall asleep, but it is like they've come splashed by it and with the vapors and stuff.
Get a little dizzy.
They've gotten woozy. Yeah, definitely.
Anything else? I'm gonna yell down to our riot guys and say, "All right, I took care of one of them, kind of. He'll just push him and he'll fall over, and the other one you should be able to deal with. There's only one guy. If you can't deal with that guy, it's not my problem."
All right. Nice. Corey, over to you. You notice through this network as that a signal comes in and is broadcast. It's up to you. You can try and trace that, see what's going on with it, or you can make an action of your own choice.
Yeah, I want to trace that. I think there's something going on.
Oh, cool. Roll me access then. It's going to be DC 10.
All right. Dice don't fail me now. Oh, that's an 8 on the die with a +3. That's an 11.
All right, nice. So now you get some encrypted information.
This is what I live for.
Yeah, right. So there is a signal being broadcast. It's being broadcast over the police like metropolitan system. Its source is from one of the vans on lower, like further back on the Mall, so more towards Buckingham Palace.
Well, they don't call me Decrypt for nothing.
All right. Right. Roll me a decryption hacking action then. This DC again is going to be 10.
Okay. They call me Decryption for nothing. That's a 4 on the die.
That's all right. It's a difficult encryption. You don't have the key. You're having to do your own manual work on it, so it's going to take a little bit more time. Any movement you want to make? I mean, you are still cabled into this thing, and you'll still need to be kept there to be able to still access it.
I'd like to use the hide action. That's a whole lot of weaponry out there. And
Sure.
as soon as shots start firing, I don't want to get beanbagged. You ever been beanbagged? I don't want to be beanbagged.
We don't have
Besides, you
bags in the UK because we're nice.
I don't want to be shot either.
They just skip the beanbags and go straight to the bullets.
No, literally no.
It's more humane. So
The UK is
I
a
will
lovely
hide behind
place.
something metal.
We just beat people. That's all we do. We just beat
Yeah,
people.
we like using the water cannons as well. That's a popular choice.
Oh yeah. Boris
Okay,
Cannon.
you say SWAT. I'm picturing like bulletproof garb, like the black shields with the clear space at the top. And
No.
12-gauge
Google it. Google it. They look like they look like if your SWAT guys only did it on the fourth Sunday of every month and had to buy their own gear. That's what they look like.
Oh, okay.
This is my favorite brain image ever.
It's just like Dad's Army SWAT.
Yeah.
Crown
Okay,
coat.
but
I'm with it.
so what you notice about these police officers, these riot officers, is, and I think it's the thing that I'm going to say initiates you thinking I'm going to hide, is because after receiving some information, you can tell that they receive some information on their earpieces, and then they're looking and they see you and they're going for you.
Yeah, that's my cue. I'm definitely going to take the hide action, yeah.
Make that bonus side action for me.
All right, so class feature. You said they're going for me. Class feature is escape notice. Does this
So that's your
constitute a
background
chase?
feature, isn't it? Well, I'm good for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
background.
make it count.
All right. If I take the hide action, if the normal rules for hiding apply, you have concealment from all your pursuers' line of sight. Successfully hiding may end the scene as your pursuers may move past you or you lose you altogether. But I don't think that's going to happen. But do I just roll a normal hide check?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not very good at hide. But if I'm successful, all right, that's going to be a dex check, right? Just a normal stealth plus proficiency?
If you've got stealth as a proficiency, then yeah, you'll add that. It's a dex check.
All right. I don't actually even see proficiencies listed on here. But that means it's a +1. And that's a nat 20.
Nice.
There's one
Wait.
thing that I'm good at is hiding from bullies, okay?
Oh yeah, for sure. Right. So yeah, there's a little alcove you manage to slip into, just behind the actual tower itself. And it actually goes in quite deep. You manage to kind of get behind some like cardboard boxes or something to actually mask yourself fully. It's just a great opportunity, and you take it to kind of nestle down in this little alcove in the street. It's the
Push all my
protesters.
screens to night mode.
Yeah, there you go. And you all hear screams. There's a wave of movement coming up from the south side of Trafalgar Square to the north as the riot police start moving in short runs. So there's like these kind of anti-mob tactics where a line of officers runs a crowd. The crowd tries to kind of disperse, and then the officers retreat back, and they keep doing this, keep harrying the protesters. On the north side, the police officers start to move in, and Saturn, like happened with Decrypt, you see in their radio some information is received. They're having to start to look around, and then a couple of officers look up at you and yell at you to get off the van and start moving towards you.
Okay. I'm sorry. I keep clicking this thing right by the microphone. I'm gonna stay put for a second and just say, "What's wrong? I'm here to help. I was sent."
They just repeat, like you were some kind of civilian,
Yeah.
to get down from the van. And then you see on the kind of left flank an officer with a taser come forward and kind of ready themselves to fire. We are going to go over to Hollow.
Okay, so things aren't going great. His speech seems to have caused the police to somehow get violent, as far as he sees it. And he'll kind of look around and be like, well, this isn't working out too well. Right, he's going to try and sort of climb off of the stage at this point. As they're getting dispersed, they're doing their thing, and he's going to try and slip away and just sort of adjust his clothes a bit and make himself look a bit more official. And actually, speaking of, he's going to try and find out where he stashed his official police uniform, because he can't see the infiltrator anywhere right now, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So he's going to try and figure out where perhaps that's been left, I think is going to be his thing. He's going to try and get changed and take on his official persona.
All right. Make me a perception check.
Sure.
DC 10.
Okie dokes. Let me just quickly check that one out. So my perception is a +2. So that's a 17.
Nice. All right. You look over instinctively back to the van, and you see the police uniform, or parts of it at least, thrown to the floor, kind of bedraggled, like by the front of the van,
Okay.
front of the Google van you've got.
And how far away is the Google van from me?
You spent about half your movement to get down, so it would take your full movement to actually get there, so you could dash there.
Yeah, he's going to dash there then and just try and dash there, take that up. And that's obviously where I'll end, so.
Cool. Yeah. And you grab your uniform. Charlie, back up to the roof. The police have arrived. Things are going pear-shaped. And you've
Good.
got odd job
What I like to hear.
trying to smack you in the face.
Great. My favorite. I'm gonna use a disengage action, kind of pull him close and then just push him away, and then I want to use my movement speed to get off this roof because getting swept up by the cops isn't gonna help me right now and what we're here to do. So yeah, action, do the move, and then movement. Bonus action, I guess, start climbing down. I want to go down the back, ideally. It was kind of a similar way I came up.
Okay.
Hoping
So you
that people are focusing on the front of the building.
Yeah. So you want to head to the back of the building. So the back of the building is actually, let me check or Google Maps. It's actually the whole building complex itself is bigger than Trafalgar Square. So there's lots of those kind of up and down roofs, a few glass roofs and stuff like that. You've got to get over to get the way back north to Orange Street is where you'll end up. But that's going to take a few rounds to get back there. It's a fair old way. You muted again?
Yeah, I just want to find somewhere I can get back and away, and just maybe if there's just an edge of a building that's a clean drop, maybe I'll try and make a drop. But I just don't want to be coming down over the front of this building, because that seems like a very bad idea.
Yeah, there's like a service entrance area, like by the National Dining Rooms, which is to the western side of that. So you can head along that. It's gonna take you like another round to get to the edge of that. But then you can drop down the kind of side door or the side driveway thing there. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. All right, Birdie, you're about to get tased.
I'm not about to get tased because I'm gonna calmly get down off the van and I'm gonna hold my hands up and I'm gonna say, listen, I know you're just doing your job, but I'm here for a reason. Don't you see all my SWAT gear? You guys sent me. I got that from you. Don't tase me, bro.
I'm going to need you to make a charisma check with persuasion proficiency. We've got it.
With which one?
As persuasion is a skill there.
Right. Okay.
So if you've got the proficiency there, then add that.
Yep. Ooh. I think I might have gotten tased.
What did you get?
I rolled a 1. So I got a 3.
Okay. Cool. I am just gonna tase you. Just gonna tase you.
I deserve it, honestly. That was terrible.
Against your AC, they got in 9, I think. No, 10.
No, I got a 13.
Wow. The taser goes wide, and luckily they're only a one-shot thing. They have to reload each time, so you kind of like skip out the way and just dodge it as it's like swishes past your head.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go over to Corey then for decrypts next turn.
There we go. Now I've got volume. Yeah. I'm gonna try and turn on the sprinklers. I can't think of anything information tech wise that's going to help this situation. I'm currently trying to continue decrypting that the incoming message.
Which you can do still. Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
So roll for me the decryption. Yeah.
Okay.
Roll for the decryption check. And this is going to be DC 5 now that you've done a lot of the work.
All right. Well, I suppose that makes an 8 if I roll a 5. Yeah, it's an 8.
All right. So you see a one of the feeds from your the way that you hacked into the vans last time, and it's some of the recorded feeds from those image recognition of facial recognition cameras that the Met had set up with the vans down the mall, or the mall. Well, it's getting all American then. It's the mall. And the video feed has the in different areas. It has Saturn from today. It has Rush. It has Mimic from and yourself, and Infiltrated Sturgeon from yesterday. And those images of you are being broadcast to the Met units in the area as targets to take down. This information has come from these vans. they bear the mark, obviously, as they've been contracted to do so, of the Ochre surveillance company. Ochre Digital Surveillance. But yeah, it looks on the surface like this person has been identified as wanted for previous offences or for incitement or whatever, and these are the people to target. Essentially, you are being flagged as the ringleaders.
Okay, I think it's time for some counterintelligence. I want to scrub those videos and modify. I want to use the personnel records of the people in the vans, if I can get access to that. And I want to try to apologize to the front line for us being hacked. And these are your actual targets. Redirect them back to their own superiors.
All right. First of all, I think you've got to deal with the hack that you've had, essentially the kind of the false flag that you've been tarnished with. So let's do that first of all.
All right.
Where's my hacking stuff?
That would be either a disable or a modify.
Let's go with disable. So that is going to be...
Oh, there's a delete as well.
Oh, well, let's do that.
Base
Yeah.
DC 10.
DC 10, you've already cracked through this stuff.
All right. And that's a 10 on the die. That's
Nice.
a 13.
Cool. All right. You managed to scrub those records. And that is just about all you can do just now. But the next action we've got to do in the round is to get that kind of reversed in a way, I guess. Okay. Then it's over to kind of protesters and the riot police. So they're making these short advances. And what you guys notice the police have started to do is they started to circle the protesters, cut them off. Particularly, I think, like Mimic from where you are, you can see down towards the Mall where there's that archway. So yeah, Admiralty Arch. You can see they've actually, because there's those kind of 3 gated like arches that they can shut off for traffic and for pedestrians. They have shut those off. So protesters in the Mall aren't getting forward through into kind of Trafalgar Square and the roads around there. And equally, the protesters in Trafalgar Square are starting to be what we affectionately call in this country kettled, where they're basically being contained and kept there and will be arrested, or worse, if they try and get out of the kettling. It's a kind of containment technique that the police are using against everyone. So Mimic, you're kind of stuck in it at the moment. Rush, you're just not quite outside of it. If you went a little bit further round on the roofs, then you could get kind of outside of it. But then Saturn, you are definitely inside, kind of on the front line of the northwestern edge of that.
Can I use a free action to do just a voice check-in on the rest of my team? I haven't heard from them in a while.
Absolutely. Have a chat.
Hello, how is everybody? Hello?
Fine.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of getting tased right now. A little busy.
Yes, that is quite true. They are being tased. I've got my uniform. I'm going to try a few things. What about your side, Decrypt?
Yeah. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm just out here fighting the good fight. Oh, that was a nice. Good job, buddy.
Decrypt, there's something about what you're saying that doesn't quite ring true. Is everything all right? Have you been arrested?
They seem to think we're the targets, guys. This isn't going well.
Don't
I'm
worry.
dodging.
I've got this.
Mimic, do something to help!
I will. Just let me change first.
Oh no.
Trust me.
I hate
All
when
right.
you say that. And she's like running along the roof.
It is over to Mimic.
And yeah, he's gonna. There's the van nearby, isn't there? So he's basically gonna step
Yeah.
in with the costume and just quick change into the police uniform, like my official one that I've got with all the
Uh-huh.
correct documents. And I'll just kind of speak over the radio and just be like, "Let me know where you both are. I'll arrest the two of you." That goes for you, Decrypt, and of course you, Doctor.
Right behind the van.
I'm sure I can
Yeah.
follow the tasing noise. Decrypt, if you can pop out near the van, I can arrest the two of you and we can get out of here to somewhere better to work from this rather than being kettled in. You don't want to be
Right.
kettled in.
Right. Yeah. I'll be right out.
Brilliant.
What is with you Brits and talking about tea all the time? Now is not the time to make tea.
Not now, Rush. I'm working. He says, and he'll step outside in his uniform, just like slow-mo adjusting collar. And we'll
Nice.
look for the others to go over and basically look like he's there and go to cuff them and arrest them. And
The
Saturn
Bill
is-
theme tune just started playing in my head. Do-do-do-do-do.
Sorry.
That is a UK reference and a half, mate. Honestly.
It really is. But yes, he's
Um,
going to walk up towards the others, basically.
Yeah, so Saturn's right next to you, like on the other side of the van. So you could easily walk out and arrest her this time.
Yeah. So he'll walk out and arrest Saturn as he walks over and goes, good work, lads. I'll take it from here. I believe there's another one around here that I'm meant to be taking in. Very good job. Are the rest kettled in safely? Well, safe as they can be.
I'd like you to roll for me a deception test.
Certainly. I also do have the theme feature as well, if that helps me at all here.
Well, that's about gathering intelligence.
Oh,
And
okay, cool.
It's getting. It's like a kind of
Yeah, this was
perception
one of my
check
covers.
plus,
Yeah.
but this
That's all
is,
cool. Dun, 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 dun. So that was a what, Jack, again? Sorry, deception?
deception. Yeah.
Deception, cool. So my deception is a +5, which is pretty cool. And that is a 12 + 5, 17.
Nice. All right. Yeah, the right place to respond. They essentially move forward past you in order for you to step behind. It's kind of a tactic that they employ, I guess, to get you behind the line so that you can safely arrest and bundle Saturn into the back of the police van. Maybe.
I'm
Depending on what you wanna do.
gonna
Brilliant.
whisper though as you're like cuffing me or whatever. Get the bottle. Get the water bottle on the ground.
I'll get that after we get our decrypt.
It's kind of important.
Well, I mean, you can try to pick it up with your elbows. I'll leave you here for a second. Decrypt, where are you at? And that'll be where I call it, I guess.
Searing anger inside. Searing anger.
Searing smugness. Outside.
It was Charlie. Charlie dashed to, I'd say, to the edge of the National Gallery building that you can drop down and you can safely get around the kettle.
Good. I would like to head towards the explosion, because good guys go towards the explosion when bad things happen.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you get Google Maps up, this will seriously help you. But you've landed kind of behind to the kind of side, left-hand side or west-hand side of the National Gallery. You can head down St. Martin's, and then what you need to do is head south behind the kettle, kind of around Pall Mall, Cockspur Street, and then the building that looks to be on fire from the smoke, as I say, is Admiralty Arch. So you'll need to have use some kind of clever navigation of the streets just to kind of slip by the police cordon and around some of the pavements so that you can get to the actual place itself.
Can I make an infiltration roll to help me do this?
Yeah, this is exactly what it's for. Perfect.
Perfect.
Mm.
12. I just banged my head on my microphone again, but 12.
Oh no. Yeah, absolutely. So you figured out a nice little cut-through way of being able to get through to where you need to be. It basically takes you onto Cockspur Court, and then you're onto Spring Gardens, which is still the kind of cordoned side of Admiralty Arch, but you manage to slip. You'll be able to manage to slip past the kettling and get to the Smokes location, which is on the northern edge of Admiralty Arch. There's a lot of running to do though, and you'll be able to actually meet up with Saturn, and hopefully Mimic if he manages to get back with Decrypt on inside the kettle. Saturn, here's over to you. What I'm going to say, I'm going to make this happen, is that you've kind of put the handcuffs on Mimic, but you can slip out of them easily. Like they're not properly locked. You managed to kind of like deceptively arrest him. So yeah, you can slip out of those anytime you need to and do stuff.
Okay. Are they actively staring at me?
Nope, they've moved ahead of you.
Then I'm going to keep my hands behind my back just in case I need to pretend real quick. And I'm going to kind of kneel down and pick up the little water bottle with my hands behind my back. And then I'm going to slide around to the front of the van and get in it and start it up.
Sure, not a problem.
And I'm not sure driving into the crowd to pick them up is a good idea, but I want to have the van ready and waiting to take off as soon as he gets Decrypt.
All right, so you can actually kind of there's a kind of large triangular kind of road network. Like as you're kind of on the northwestern side of Trafalgar Square, you can actually drive away from it, but then like double back on yourself a little bit and back round to the other end. Okay. Or like the south side of this kind of large triangular kind of building that is just to your south. And then what you can do there is you can basically just reverse up and kind of be ready and waiting near where the guys are, particularly where Decrypt is.
Perfect.
So basically, in terms of vehicles in this game, it is an action to drive them. You have certain vehicle proficiencies. So originally I was looking at skills like drive and pilot, but actually it made more sense to have just proficiencies in certain vehicles. Like you might have a motorcycle license, or you might have a car license. You might actually be a tank driver or something, or a pilot. So if you've got a car proficiency, you add that that proficiency to your role, and it basically then is up to the GM what ability score that they want to go with. If you want to get there without alerting the police, that's going to be, I think, an intelligence check. If you want to get there quickly, that's going to be a dex check.
I don't want to alert them. I think I'm going to go with intelligence.
Cool. All right. So,
and I do have a car proficiency.
Nice. So roll for me an intelligence check and add your proficiency.
I got an 11.
Nice. Okay. So you make it way down Pall Mall East, and then you kind of, like I say, kind of like double back on yourself a little bit, turning left against what would be the flow of traffic, but seeing as everything's kind of stopped for the protests, you actually cut through like almost like a little pavemented area, just quietly and slickly. You take the opportunity, you dive down into Cockspur Street, and then you slowly just park in between two bus stops, and Mimic and Decrypt are just around the corner. Decrypt, perfect. What are you up to?
I want to finish that up, and I guess I'm going to try and unplug and use my movement to get back over there. So if I can sort of return fire on the cyber and make them send them back towards their commanders with the apologize for being hacked thing.
All right. Sending them back to their superiors is going to be tricky because, first of all, it's going to be a few things. You'd need to actually identify their superiors. I'd need to know whether it was actually Met officers that you were falsely identifying or whether it was these Ochre surveillance company guys. And then after actually getting that information, then it would be broadcasting that. So it's like a kind of two main action things that are going to be split over a couple of rounds.
I see. So if I were posing as Ochre, sort of denouncing whoever's convenient, that I would have access to the information, maybe wherever it was broadcast from? Probably not. Okay, scratch that. I'll just head towards the van.
Well, I would say as your double life is you're wanted for, it was by the Russian government, wasn't it? Or Chinese government, I think, for hacking restricted
Chinese
databases.
government.
Chinese government. So you could falsely flag up some IDs that you've got in China that they're going to start looking for. So it just confuses them as maybe something you can do.
Potentially in the crowd.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that. Reassess that they are going to be the ones that they're looking for in the crowd and have hacked the system and sent out the wrong information. This might be enough of a distraction to get out of here. So that'll be modify.
I'm happy with that. And to be honest, from all the work you've been doing, I think the GC is just going to be 5.
All right. It's a nat 20.
Nice. All right. So not only do you actually falsely flag a few like kind of Chinese operatives or Chinese IDs that you've got of either officials or agents there that you got access to, you actually managed to go quickly cross-referencing. You know how like in movies they got like lots of flashy screens, like there's lots of flashy screens going on of lots of different faces. You actually managed to ID a couple of Chinese operatives that are here from the live surveillance, and actually flag a couple of people they will be able to arrest. So they've got even more time kind of taken up by that action as a distraction. So you've done a really good job there. So yeah, after then, whipping the wire out and then back round to meet up with Mimic. You are, though, within this kettle. So there is a line of police officers kind of stopping the road. You see, and will have known from some of the radio transmissions that the whole team have been sharing, that Saturn is waiting. You can see the police van on the other side of the cordon. It's up to Mimic to get you through. Mimic, you're up.
Okay. So can I see Decrypt from where I'm at? Sort of between the sort of line of the officers or whatever.
I guess Decrypt, how obvious are you being at this point? Because you've been correctly unidentified. So you're no longer a target. How obvious are you being for Mimic?
Well, for as far as what I would consider stealthy, I mean, I'm pretty nonchalant. I'm maintaining. I'm being cool. Acting natural. Sore thumb, blatantly obvious.
Cool.
Got my laptop under my arm, looking over my shoulder, walking directly towards the van.
Cool. If he's coming towards the van then and being obvious, I think Mimic will step kind of towards where the line is once more and just kind of give Saturn a little look of saying, "Don't let him see you without your cuffs off," before he looks over to the boy and just kind of goes, "Wait, is that you, boy? Look, that's my work experience, kid. He's managed to get himself in some trouble. If you can get him through, you know what they're like, Americans. I mean, typical, getting lost in the middle of there and not being on this side."
All right. Roll me that deception check.
Sure. So that'll be a +5 again. So that is a 14 plus 5, so a good 19.
Very nice indeed. They let you through as you like kind of just gently push Decrypt through the line, and they make a little parting for you, and then link back up with a kind of shield wall and their small riot shields.
He's like, thanks lads. And takes him aside and says, there we go, right, let's get going.
Yeah, all right. You all bundle into the back of that van. I am going to finish up the rounds and turns there so that we can gather people back up. Charlie, about Rush, where do we leave you? You were making your way towards that van, weren't you? But just figuring out your route beforehand.
Yes, I figured out my route towards the Admiralty Arch, and I was going to meet with the van because I see it is probably coming up, and I recognize the van because I was there when we took the vinyls and we stuck them on the side. And I am sure I hear the team talking in my ear and letting me know where they are and what they're up to, because they're good teammates like that.
Yeah, apparently according to Google Maps, they're just outside the Serious Fraud Office by Canada House.
That seems about right.
Yeah, serious fraud. Parked up in between two bus stops. You see this Met Police van and Saturn in the driver's seat. How do you guys get in? What's the arrangement? And where do you want to go from here?
I like to think I nimbly just drop down onto the bonnet on the front of the van and then just hop off and climb around the back and let myself in. It's about time you got here.
Right, yes. Very good moves as usual, Rush. Let's get out of here. Does anyone know what's going on? Where we could find out what happened to that explosion? Decrypt, could you find out anything? And Saturn, did you get your bottle? I know that was very important to you.
Yeah, I did. Thanks. No thanks to you.
It's fine. I just, stopped you getting tased and all of that. But anyway, let's get going, I guess.
I can get in with some sort of surveillance. What's in the area? Where am I looking? I'm sorry, I didn't see the explosion. Or was it what exploded?
A building, I believe. You can look at the smoke that way. That's the indicator.
The building you're talking about, you haven't quite got a line of sight to it, but it is literally over the road, down a little side street, and you're there. Like, it is 50 meters, if that. Like 60 meters to this.
I still act like it.
Sure.
Just point.
Yeah. You can see out the side of the van. I'd say the back of these vans don't have windows, but you can see out the front passenger side window. You can see, if you all lean over, smoke billowing out the top of Admiralty Arch, just 50 meters away.
I would like to call in to Agent Anderson.
Mm-hmm. Wait.
There we go.
Go get my glasses on.
Get in character. Get ready.
I forgot what his voice is like. Oh well, it's fine.
Hello, Agent Anderson?
Rush, yes. What's the matter?
Please be advised that everything went to shit in Trafalgar Square. We're on our way to Admiralty Arch, which seems to be on fire. The police, I think, wanted to arrest half of the team, but I believe Decrypt did something to take care of that problem. And we're in a Metropolitan Police van. Please advise.
Is the explosion near you? Can you investigate?
We can investigate. Do you have any information?
None. We're not sure what's happened.
The signal here is really shit. I can't hear you. You're cutting out. Goodbye. Okay, we really need to investigate.
Right, yes, Yes. I think he bought that, by the way. Very convincing acting there.
I took lessons from you, remember?
Yes, you did.
Are we going or not?
Puts foot down, gets going. Just gonna drive over
Right,
to
so I
the
want to try and pull up some surveillance of the explosion.
Okay. Yeah. So you do so. You get into the Metropolitan network for all of the surveillance that they have access to. It's pretty much all public CCTV around London, and they've got a helicopter now in the skies. That
And I bet
is,
it's all over Twitter trending right now as well.
yeah. There's a BBC helicopter overhead, the police helicopter you get a live feed from, and you're focusing down onto this building in Spring Gardens. It's just next to a pub, bizarrely enough. But the information from the feed that you get and some of the overlays on your basic intelligence that you have from your days working for MI5 and stuff is that this is a metropolitan like data hub, essentially. It is a big storage server building for all of the data that they get collected from this kind of facial recognition stuff, from the some of the more mass surveillance they do on kind of like social networks and the internet. All gets funneled through here, and this is one of their storage units for it.
So this is where that signal would have come from you were talking about earlier?
No, so that signal came from a van that was down in the Mall near Buckingham Palace.
Okay. All right. Yep. Definitely want to see the video leading up to the explosion.
Oh, okay. So you cycle back to that. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Any clues as to what would have caused the explosion? Devices,
Sure.
or if this is something.
Sure, okay. So this is going to be perception, I think, because it's still wisdom based. So it's playing through the CCTV as quickly as you can on like times 32 speed, just checking in kind of who's going in, who's going out, any kind of strange occurrences, that kind of thing.
Since I've got access to all that facial recognition software, any chance of patching that into it?
Yeah, okay. I'll give you advantage.
All right. I'm probably going to need it because it's wisdom. Oh, actually, that's a 17 on the die, so +1. Wisdom. So 18 total.
Nice. All right. We don't need to apply the advantage because it is good. Whizzing through some of the footage, you go back and forth a little bit on a particular part just at the beginning of the protests, just as people were starting to get into Trafalgar Square. There's a few people that peel off from the protest into that side street. So you imagine you've got the Mall coming out of Admiralty Arch going forward towards towards Trafalgar Square, and then just as you get out of Admiralty Arch, on the left there is Spring Gardens, and this is where this building is. And there are a few people that peel off from the protest and somehow gain access through the front, pretty much, to this building.
Are they wearing masks as well?
They are wearing the kind of weird asymmetrical kind of makeup that blocks that kind of facial recognition software from working properly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not able to get anything about them, but we've pinpointed where they are. I want to show that to the rest of the group as we're driving in that direction, hopefully. Or I don't know, we still parked?
Yeah, I'll be driving.
Every time I get up from my computer, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I imagine I'd have been driving since we set off, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a 20, 30 second drive
Yeah.
there.
Just for that sake.
Sure, yeah.
Left legs.
Nice.
5 times.
So Decrypt figures out this clue, this information, just as you arrive in front of the building itself. You can see upstairs on the second floor inside through the windows that there is some fire, and there is still billowing out of the top in terms of smoke and stuff. You can just
Is there
start.
any form of hostile presence in police or emergency response, or is it just the explosion so far?
There are a couple of police officers, uniformed but not in riot gear, who are behind the kettling line, and they are basically pretty stunned. And these are your kind of average kind of like beat cops, like patrol officers in the UK. And sometimes as much as they want to do good and help, they don't quite know what to do. They're on their radios. You assume radioing for like fire engine support, like from the fire service. But they are kind of radioing it in, and just they're not going in. They're not quite sure what to do with this.
Okay.
Point him out to Mimic.
Yeah, he looks over and nods. I can probably get us in. He'll get out of the van and go over.
Okay.
And Saturn whispers very loudly, "Tell them I'm a doctor. I can help."
Sure. I'll let them know you're a doctor, he says and smiles a bit before walking out. And we'll go over to the other two officers and basically go, "Seems there's a lot happening in here. I've been sent to investigate this. We also have a veterinary doctor, just in case there's animals inside that are injured. And of course, my work experience kid. So we're good to go. Apparently, it should be quite safe inside. I've heard that you lads have had it under control for a while."
What are you talking about?
I see. Sorry, I thought you were sent it. The Brat must not have sent it through to you. I'm here to investigate the explosion.
All right. I need to roll a deception check for me.
Sure. Okay. That's only a 14 this time, unfortunately.
Okay, the wrong thing. Okay, that's all right.
Cool.
Even
I used to
though,
be 25. Sorry, I just.
even though I'm looking at their passive wisdom, but even though you've got work experience lad and veterinary doctor with you, they're like they're just a bit confounded at this point. So they are just willing to let you go through.
Yeah, he's just like, this is why I was nominated for an Oscar. As he walks through and basically just gets on going in, and we'll look at the other two. There you go. You're a doctor. You're you, Decrypt. Let's do this.
Why is he? I am a doctor.
Yes.
It's
And the gerbils all thank you.
What's the matter
I'm
then?
so angry.
You're Rush.
Oh, good. I don't need a cover story. I'm an Olympian.
It's not a cover story. I'm an actual literal doctor.
Yes.
Very
You treat dogs
convincing.
very well.
You children will be the death of me.
Well, like.
But you won't be the death of me because I'm real doctor. I hate you all. I storm away.
Great.
All right.
Well,
What happened to their Segway? No wonder they're in a bad mood.
yes, I believe it's probably hurting their back quite a bit. Walking
Never
around
make
like that.
an American walk, Mimic. They don't like it.
No, I've heard they all go around on segways.
Although I think Saturn is Mexican, but still.
Right, yes, that would be the case. We should probably investigate the explosion before everybody gets away, Rash.
Oh yes. And she's gonna like hop
All right.
out, walk across, walk in like she owns the place.
All right. You walk into the ground floor offices of this Met building, and some of the smoke has started to fester here on the ground floor from the fire. It's very dark in here. Actually, there's very little kind of window light, and the lights themselves haven't been turned on.
Have the fire sprinklers gone off?
They haven't, because this is like heavy IT building, so electric fire and water aren't a good mix. There's chemical fire extinguishers around. Well, in fact, CO2, I think.
Yeah, it'll be the carbon dioxide ones, yeah.
Yeah. So no sprinklers.
Looking around, can we see the source of the smoke? Or like a direction from which it is pouring?
Yeah, definitely. You have a look around, you dive a bit further into the building, you do see a staircase that you can, like a back staircase you can get up into. There is an elevator, so you could try and take that, but I wouldn't advise it in a fire.
Not in a fire.
Exactly.
There's even a sign right by it. In case of fire, take stairs. And then there's the fire map. But we're going to ignore that bit because I'm going to go up the stairs towards the fire. Because I am investigating the... This makes no sense. I thought we were here for protesters. But she's going up the stairs.
Cool, alright.
Standing in front of the elevator, pushing the button, wondering why it doesn't show up.
I think Mimic will just be stood watching this with just glee in turn, and you're just like, I'm sure it'll come eventually. Just keep trying.
And Saturn, what about you?
I have not gone inside yet because I was angry and stormed away, and I don't think it's been long enough for them to forget that I did that. So so I am walking around the outside of the building to see if there's anything there, any clues, any footprints that look out of place or anything like that.
Sure. The only thing that looks out of place there for you is a open window on the second floor, smoke billowing out of it, but these rather large hinged windows have been flung wide open, and are large enough for an escape route if needs be. You don't see anyone or anything having set up, for example, like a fall if someone was trapped inside and they had to jump out. You don't see anything down on the street for that. You don't see any people there. You don't see any kind of like, well, they'd have mattresses there, but you don't see anything
like
to break.
No
a fall.
landmarks where they jumped down and made a big
nothing like that.
Step in the mud. Okay.
Just these big windows.
Interesting. All right, I'm going to walk back. I'm going to go inside now because I have something important to say, and that will distract them from the fact that I had stormed away angrily.
All right. There is a fire exit just to your left that actually will get you into the building from that outside, from where you are.
Okay.
But it will be on the ground. It'll be on the first floor. It'll be on the ground floor.
That's fine.
All right, so you head in. It's a little smoky in here, but you wanted the stairs. You see Mimic with Decrypt waiting for the elevator.
Okay. I'm going to wander over and I'm going to say, I was doing some very important investigating outside. And, good spies would have checked the exterior of the building as well. I'm also a doctor, and I wanted to see if anyone was hurt out there. And it looks like there was a window on the second floor that is set up as though someone were going to jump out of it, yet no one has jumped out of it, which leads me to believe there might be someone still in the building. Dun dun dun.
I'm sorry, I got caught up on. Are you a spy or a doctor?
I'm both. You don't have to just be one thing in this life, okay? You can be multiple things.
They commonly refer to them as spocters.
Okay,
so
Rush.
it's fine if you call them that.
At the top of the stairs on the second floor, at the very top of this building.
I guess that's better than dies.
Yeah.
I
This is the worst elevator ever. I think we should take the stairs.
Oh yes, the elevators don't work.
Probably
when they're
faster.
fire. We should take the stairs.
As they walk up the stairs, I brought the bottle of water with me, and I just flick a little on the back of Mimic's neck.
Slight
Just out of
burn on the
spite.
back of your neck. Just a slight burn.
At first, do no harm.
All right. Well, it's time to grab a bit of clothing or grab a cloth out of a pocket or something to cover over your faces because this smoke is getting pretty dense up on the second floor. Rush, from what you can make out, you can see what appears to be a hole in the wall of an interior wall that leads into another room. You can see little blinky server lights inside and the dark figure of two people working away.
Is like what's in here? All these blinky lights. And she is trying to, like, she's looking at the hole and imagining like the Scooby-Doo holes where they just run through, or like the cartoon things where they just run through a wall and leave their own impression. And she smiles to herself, and she wants to try and stealth into this room and try and get the drop on these two guys.
All right.
Classic rush tactics going on.
Classic rush tactics. All right. So I need you to roll a. Well, I actually don't. So combat's broken up a little bit in the game into a couple of different phases. So what we're going to enter is the infiltration phase, where you folks all get to make actions. So take your turns, make your move actions and stuff as normal. What's going to happen is that whilst these people are unaware of you, you are all going to take your turns in any order you wish. And at the end, your adversaries will take their turns. So they might move, they might continue with their actions and stuff like that. If there comes to a point where they might see you, I'm going to ask for a stealth check. So you don't have to keep rolling all the time to keep hidden. You are basically hidden. They are unaware of you at the moment. If they do become aware of you, then the rest of the people, of you guys, the player characters who are left to act, will be able to take your turns before we move into either what could be a surprise round, depending on the circumstances, or could just be combat as normal. So it's up to you guys who wants to go first. I think really kind of Rush, you're in the front, so you're kind of taking the first step. So are you kind of stepping into the room at this point?
Yeah, she's thinking these are the bad guys, and we're in apprehension mode, which means I need to get close to them. So yeah, she's gonna step in very carefully through that hole, shifting her weight onto like the balls of her feet, and then gently setting down the heels, doing what she can to muffle any like choking on the smoke, hoping that they're very entertained by the pretty blinky server lights that she has no idea what they are about.
All right, cool. So you head inside. I'm going to ask for a perception check as you look around you.
Let me see. +1. 11.
All right, nice. In front of you is a woman in a long coat, or a female figure.
Mm-hmm.
There's a man with her, and they are at a server bank in front of them that stands about 6.5, 7 foot tall. Lots of blinky lights, and they are kind of like almost in like a sci-fi way, kind of scanning it and looking at a screen as they're pointing this kind of almost like a little camera type thing, like a little GoPro type device at it. Looking to your left and right, you do see a couple of other figures who are patrolling through the smoke, who have some pistols in hand, and are, one of them is about to walk away from you to kind of to the left. The other is going to head towards you.
Okay, I want to use my movement, and I want to move. Basically, as the guy is moving away to my left, I want to try and make it so that in this smoke, in this low light, I almost can adopt his figure and just become the patrol partner and just move away from right guy who's coming towards me.
Cool. All right.
Focusing on my balance beam, stealthy.
Yeah.
Type movement.
I'll get a stealth check from you. just so that this is their perception check or insight check to see whether they really kind of notice you. Where's it? Now 1. Right. Well, what's your modifier, and add that together? Just 2, 3.
Stealth 2.
Okay.
So that's a 3. Yeah.
All right. So you make your way towards the guard on the left, who is moving away from you, so that you take up the pattern. You step behind him. You're not compromised yet, but you are coughing a fair bit from the smoke inhalation. I want you to roll a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
That is a 5.
Okay, that's enough for now. But this is going to get worse with more smoke inhalation. It's up to you guys. Who goes next?
I think that I will. I've got a medical kit, a first aid kit, and so I'm gonna take my gloves out of my medical kit and put those on. And then I'm gonna take my gauze out of the first aid kit, and I'm going to dump the water bottle, get the gauze wet with this stuff, and I'm going to try to sneak in up behind these 2 guys that are paroling around, and sneak up behind them, and then put it over their face.
All right,
they'll
so
breathe it in and sleep.
So what you've got in front of you as you walk through the hole in the wall, blown in the wall, is the 2 figures in front of you, a female figure and a male figure at the server. Mm-hmm. To your right-hand side, there is a guard walking towards you. She's got a pistol in hand. To your left, Rush has walked, clearly, so you're not deceived by that, towards this other guard who has just turned the corner around a server block.
Okay.
Which direction would you like to head in? Who would you like to try and get?
If the one is walking towards me, I want to wait till she passes by and then sneak up behind her.
Cool. So basically, it will let you ready that action so that you duck behind the server block that she's coming down, and then just as you're going to kind of meet her, you'll grab her and chloroform her, basically.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So that's readied. Decrypt, mimic. What would you like to do?
I want to jack into the security system. All future actions will be probably based on that. I imagine it's going to have a pretty significant firewall, so I'm going to have to break through that.
This is going to have to be a manual access, so you're going to have to actually get to one of the server blocks to be able to get into the system.
Okay, so I won't be able to do this from anywhere else in the building?
No.
Because it's in isolation. Okay, perfect. Then I will need to... I'm going to follow I'm going to follow the Spocter.
Okay. So you duck behind the server bank, just as he does. Just to his right-hand side, as Saturn, you're waiting for the woman on the left. So you are at the server bank, and probably only 10, 15 feet away from you, you've got the other 2 who are accessing or doing something like scanning this server.
Okay.
Any action you want to take?
Yeah. Do all the data banks all appear to be in the same series, or is this something where each tower is isolated?
I'm going to say that each tower is isolated from the way that they're configured. You've got 4 banks of them in a very helpfully designed stealth scenario. So you've got like a cross. So basically, so the center kind of corridor is perpendicular to the other and forms a cross in the middle of the room. and then around the outside, the perimeter, you've got space as well.
Okay. And which direction? How far away is it? The one that has been attacked, blown up. Is that the one that they're examining?
So none of them appear damaged, and the one they're looking at, they've got nothing cabled in. There's no Wi-Fi signal here, even a secret one that you can see. But they're not actually like in the system. They're using, like I say, some kind of like almost like camera device and screen to look at the server.
Okay. I guess the best I can do is just try and get into the system and determine if there's further actions to take from there. So
All right.
I will physically jack in.
Yeah. All right. So make a access check for me. DC 10.
All right. Should I use the IR user?
That's up to you. Yeah, if you want to use that. What? Give me the text again for that.
Second level rootkit manual delivery. You can confuse a device to recognize you as a valid user of its operating system. Make an install action. If successful, you have the advantage on further install and modify actions targeting this device.
Nice. All right. So yeah, make that install action for me.
All right.
Say DC is going to be 10.
Okay, this is going to be more difficult. Okay. Negative. That is an 8.
Okay. So you do see that there is an authorization policy firewall on here. So whenever you attempt to install, change, or otherwise manipulate the data on the device, the authorization policy checks whether you have permission for that action. When it's installed, I select the authorization that's required. So from levels kind of 1st to 5th. Whenever a hacking action targets a system, you must succeed in intelligence infotech saving throw. To kind of skip it. So with the check failed, unfortunately, does mean that you don't quite get through there, but you do see the authorization policy. So you know that you've got something to crack if you want to lower the difficulty, because it's raised the DC from 5 to 10 for having a firewall installed.
Okay. All right. That's it for me.
Mimic, last person up.
Okay, so so currently, is there any of them that are unattended? As there was the other two, wasn't there, across the room? I believe there was two near the data thing.
Yeah.
So I don't have much to deal with this right now. So the other guard, the armed one that's patrolling, that isn't being dealt with yet, I'm going to try and sneak up behind them with the garrote, and essentially just try and get a good position. And if one of my other team members strikes, then I will too.
Right.
As I hold my action, basically.
Yeah. So that's Rush. Rush's gone for the guard on the left, and he's walked round the perimeter of this room.
Cool.
And she is just behind him, doing a bad impersonation of a guard on patrol, whilst trying to remain stealthy.
I'll wait for Rush to strike.
Okay. So they will go, and they will move. The guard in front of you, Rush, will move to the top left-hand corner of the room, and the guard coming up towards you, Saturn, will end its movement, or end her movement, like within reach of you, perpendicular to you. So you'll be able to strike. So roll that. Roll that for me. Is an attack? What was exactly what you were doing again?
I'm gonna go up and sneak behind them and then cover their mouth.
Okay, cool. So, yeah. Oh, so this is basically like the restrain action, but you'll get the kind of, if the actual effect will be sleep, will be unconsciousness because of the bonus, because you got to your chemical stuff. So
yes.
I am going to roll then against, this is a contest, it's strength, athletics, or dexterity acrobatics.
Okay. Athletics.
There we go.
got a 15.
I got 12.
Yes!
So you grab this guard. This swish little maneuver, I guess, where you like kind of grab her kind of at the same time. Grab her face, put the gauze to her face, and within a few seconds, she flops down. Goes limp. Sleep.
I whisper as I slowly lay her down, gently and quietly.
Cool. No problem.
I'm gonna sneak back behind a bank.
Yep. So that was your ready action done. And the two near the server continue to point this camera at various parts of the server. You notice this, Decrypt? And trying to get a reading from their monitor. And then it's back over to you folks. Who wants to go first?
I'll take a look over to Decrypt quickly and just gauge if they're wanting to approach that data block, because if they are, I can move over and help them take out one of the guards. So it's a quick glance. See what you're looking like.
I'll catch the glance and recognize the opportunity from the output on the screen and the coverage coming from Mimic, and I will attempt to. Is that a perception? Am I going to be reading their monitor, or am I going to be duplicating it onto mine?
You're going to be reading their monitor.
Okay. So I will attempt to get a little bit closer. I'm physically jacked into this one, so I've got a kind of a tether, right?
It's the one that you're on, yes. Yeah, so you'll need to move away from it and therefore unplug in order to get a look at what they're doing.
Yeah, I'll have to unplug and get a little bit closer.
Sure. All right.
I've got a good idea of what the software looks like now. Okay, so I probably get within 5-10 feet of them. They're about 15 feet away from me as it was, right?
Yeah, about 10-15 feet. You're going to need to get within reach and able to be able to actually see the monitor properly. It's it's only like a 8x5 type thing. It's not big. 8x6.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's going to be a stealth attempt.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'm going to give you advantage for the smoke.
All right. And so it says advantage on dex on the character sheet. Is that on all the dex saves, or is that what is that?
That's saving throws.
Saving throws, yes. Okay. Then, all right. I am not proficient in stealth, so this is going to be at a +1 with advantage. Well, that's a 2 +1 for 3. I'll take the 15 +1 for a 16.
Nice. All right. Yeah. So you managed to sneak up behind them, check out their monitor, and I'm going to ask you for a infotech check, free infotech check.
All right.
DC 10, just to see if you recognize what they're doing.
Okay. That's an 11.
Nice.
8 on the dot +3 infotech.
So this is a very specific, very prototype kind of method of trying to decrypt data, and that is essentially by thermal imaging the hard drives on the server to see the tiny differences in heat that are coming from the server in order to actually read the data on the server. So this device, this gadget they have, it's not connecting them to the server at all. It's not any actual hacking, but what they're doing is they're interpreting the heat signatures from the switches in the server onto their imaging, and therefore trying to decrypt the information that way.
That is dangerous, dangerous technology, and they must be stopped at all costs. I think
Anything
I am
else?
going to, I think I'm going to retreat. Retreat. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do with that information right up next to them, besides pull my pistol and kill one of them, and that doesn't sound like the right thing to do. So backing off would probably be the right thing to do in this situation.
Fair. All right. So you back off. I guess kind of what you've got is you've got a server bank that's to your right-hand side that you can either duck behind and then you'll be at the kind of like the top of the room, or you can go back to where you were back in the kind of bottom right kind of server block where you were stood before.
I want to actually try and get to the other side of the block that they're on, if it's possible.
Ooh, okay. I will ask for another stealth check there because you are pretty much directly in their line of sight. I'm going to ask for a stealth check with no advantage this time. They only like within reach of you, and it'll be like someone moving past you. Even in smoke, you're going to kind of feel or sense someone moving past you. You're very
Okay,
close.
yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea at all. So I'm not going to do that. I will retreat back to where I was before and try to jack back in. And that's it for me.
Okay, sure. It's down to the other three, I think.
So as I sneak around the room, can I do something?
Yeah.
I want to look for a kill switch or a plug socket, something I can just turn all of this off with. I think I'm aware my team are somewhere around me. This seems bad what they're doing, and usually like in a server room, in case of shit going on, you need to, especially if you need to isolate it really quick, you just have a kill switch. So as she's like following this dude, not doing a good job because there's fucking smoke everywhere, she's looking for a kill switch that she could just bang, or a cord she could rip out. Because she can't think of a way to take out this guard, particularly quickly and quietly, so she's looking for another option to disrupt what's going on in here.
The kill switch that you see on the wall is behind a little clear plastic cover, and it's one of those like emergency shutoffs. It's kind of got a yellow housing with a red button.
Mm-hmm.
It is behind the guard that you are currently tailing. You would have to either move forward ahead of him or take him out somehow.
Okay.
Basically,
Is he still moving, or has he stopped?
He's still moving. He will move. Well, roll an infiltration check for me.
Okay. 5 plus 1, 6.
Okay.
I'm good at this.
He will either stay where he is at this corner, or he will move right and he will bang round to patrol the northern bit of the building, northern wall.
Okay, I think she is gonna just try and knock this guy out. Let's see, do I have anything in my pack that's really heavy? I have a piton in my pack. I want to stab this guy in the back of the neck and just kill him. Just straight through the voice box. Can't scream if your voice box isn't there. Just savage this guy. Because I can't think of anything else right now that will knock him down really quick.
Let me just check some conditions here.
I mean, I guess I could restrain him, right, and shove something in his mouth, but that seems less fun than stabbing him through the back of the neck with a piton.
All right. For pure drama and effect, Charlie, I'll let this slide.
Let me stab him. Or try.
Let me just check the.
Because it was only like innocent bystanders we weren't meant to kill. This guy's a bad guy. That makes it okay.
You know, when attack rolls against character, I mean, you're hidden, so this will have advantage. But also, what I'm thinking is,
Improvised weapon.
yeah, the attacks can have advantage.
Okay. Do I get proficiency on this because it's an improvised weapon? Does it count as a simple melee weapon? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. 16. Oh, wait, advantage. 16.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the guy. So
Okay,
roll.
good. Okay. 3 plus 2 is 5.
Okay. For the fact that you've got this, like, clear, easy kill, and the way you described it, I am going to let you take this guy down. So you thwack it into the side of his neck, and he goes down without a cry, slumps to the floor.
So how I imagine it is she steps a little bit forward, she moves a bit of that movement speed she's got because she can move fast. She just grabs his head to hold it in place, and then the pit just comes straight through. If you hold him still, you got something to push against them.
Yeah.
And yeah. Sleep. Sleep is okay. Shh. I put him down.
You have this switch this emergency stop button in front of you. About
It
5
seems
feet.
like a great idea. We always hit the kill switch. Okay.
All right.
If you'll let me do that as a bonus action.
Yeah, sure. Part of your movement, even. So you hit the emergency stop, and everything powers down. Yeah.
I think as soon as that happens, the people that are standing, what is essentially right in front of me, I assume would be like, what the hell? And really taken off guard. So I am going to spring into action, and I'm going to take my knife and try to... I have vital points, so I know where to hit on the body with my knife to take him down pretty quick. So I'm gonna do that. Hit a knife. Hit him with a knife.
Cool. All right. So that lets you do another d6 damage, I think, for the finesse weapons.
Yes.
Mm.
If I can hit him. I got a 13.
Well, you're hidden, so you've got advantage on this roll. Remember.
Ooh.
So I think that
Didn't
first
remember.
one would hit.
Now I have a 15.
Yeah. I mean, both of them would hit, so that's good.
Yay.
All right. So roll your attack with that extra d6 for me.
Yep. It is a d4 plus 1. Oh, that's a 4, so that's 5, and another 5, 10.
Nice. All right. This knife sticks into the back of this guy's neck in the shoulder, and he yelps out, turns. The woman who's been scanning the server with him, having looked around, turns in your direction as well. And you guys have been seen. Who else is left to act? Emic, right?
That would be me as well.
Cool. All right. What's left for you then?
So I was
You
going to
got-
say, as obviously the doctor was going in and the second one was near them, I was going to dip behind with my garrote and just cinch it tight.
Yeah. So it's the same guy, right?
The other one of them, because there was the two of them, weren't there?
So you're yeah, go on.
So when they go for left, I'll go for right, basically.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
Okay. So do we have advantage on that?
Yeah.
Cool, because that would have been a crit one. All right, so it's it's either a 1 or a 2 on the dice. So either way.
All right, you dive around the corner, go for the woman who's been helping to scan the server, and she bats you out of the way as you skid round, and now you're facing off. Now, folks, it's time for initiative checks.
Whoop, whoop. Look, disaster spies have arrived.
Here we are. Familiar
We're
territory.
very efficient the rest of this episode. I'm proud of us.
I totally.
You have.
did
You've
not
done a
think
good
that, 'cause
job.
I didn't
I think
think we were going to keep doing it that way.
Yeah.
It was right there. I was like, yep. Backs to me 5 feet away. Got a pistol. Nah, we're not going to kill these guys.
All right, let's go around the horn then. So Saturn, what did you get?
17.
Ooh, nice. And Rush.
16.
And Mimic.
Solid 8.
Oh boy.
Pro
And
tip.
11 plus 2 initiative. So 13.
Nice. All right. So let me add my peeps in. So that was a 17. So I'll let Sam go first for that one. And then 15 for my hacker woman. All right. So Saturn, you get to go first, and you are not hidden.
Right.
We
I
do
still,
actually.
I want to.
We do have a surprise round. Actually, it's because Decrypt is still hidden. So Decrypt gets to make an action before everyone else in a surprise round, and then we start at the top of the initiative.
Shoot him in the face.
Well,
She's-
the one that Mimic tried to go out, I think, needs a surprise 9mm to the side of the head.
Go for it.
Saturn is
let's-
proud.
That will be a +3 to hit. No. Yeah, +3 to hit. Okay, there we go. I was like, why is a pistol listed as a melee weapon? All right. That is a 17 on the die, dirty 20.
Nice. That hits. Roll damage for me.
That is 1d8 plus 1. 7 points of damage.
Oof. All right.
Lean over with a silenced pistol.
Yeah, nice. All right. And then top of the round, we're going to go to Saturn first.
Yes, I am once again going to. I'm not even going to remove the knife. I'm just going to dig it in and twist it. I feel like that's pretty vital.
All right. Make that attack for me.
Oh, I got a 19 plus whatever, 3.
All right. Hits, yeah.
20. Yeah. And so now. I got, oh, that's only a 1. So 2 plus 5. So 7.
All right. And then they are going to respond. They are going to, because they are within reach, any ranged attacks are going to be at a disadvantage, which means they are going to whip a knife out from their belt and try and stab you back. This is going to be a 21 to hit. And it's going to do 2 damage. Oh, sorry, 4 damage.
I accept. I like that less, but I still accept.
So I was reading the wrong line. All right. The other 2 have been taken out, so it's over to Rush.
So she is still moving. She is still walking. She's gonna grab the pistol that was in that guy's, I guess, gun strap, whatever. And she's gonna come around the corner, size up what's going on.
All right.
What does she see?
We've got Mimic is like right up there with her, right? Yeah. So you've got Mimic and her like within reach as you round the corner. They are right up squared against each other. So any ranged attacks with this pistol here against her are going to be, well, they're just, all ranged attacks going to be a disadvantage because she's there kind of being able to run interference.
Can I just pistol whip her around the back of the head? Since she's right there, just...
Yeah.
Right
It'll be improvised. So I will let you add your proficiency to that. Pistol whip's a bit...
Okay.
But sure.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. So that's a... I guess it'll be strength-based, right? 18.
Yeah. Hits.
Oh, we got Baby Spy.
Yep, work boy's got a work boy.
I like it.
He wanted to be out for a
Alright.
second. He fell and hit his head. He's okay.
Oh no. So that's a 5?
Damage. All right.
Yes. Damage. I used a D4.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that says damage.
Damage.
Damage. And that's against the woman, right?
Yeah, she's basically come up, seen Mimic there. She's like, I am gonna totally glory steal this moment and pistol whip this chick. She's gonna go down.
All right. It is over to her turn. If I can find her again.
This is very not good. I just hit her in the back of the head with a pistol.
All right. She is going to take a legendary action and move her speed without provoking opportunity attacks. She ducks, weaves, and dives around the smoke to the open window that Saturn saw earlier and dives out. Can I give it some falling damage? Okay. And she's out the window.
Just out of curiosity, was she... never mind. Was she in melee with me?
She wasn't.
Okay.
And she wouldn't have provoked opportunity attacks anyway. It's just her legendary action.
Why did you let her escape? I'm gonna yell at Mimic.
That was all you, he says. Rush over to the window to try and take a shot with the gun when it says initiative.
Well, it is decrypt first.
Yeah.
So decrypt, you've got the woman's just disappeared off through the window, but you've still got the guy who is has been like knifed by Saturn.
All right, so the one dot is gone out the window, correct?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will... what do you want to do, buddy? All right, yep, we're gonna deal with the problem at hand. Did she happen to take the reading machine with her?
No, it's been dropped to the floor.
Or was he holding it?
He was holding it, yeah. He's
Sorry.
been knifed now. That's cool.
Okay, so not making off with the information. Sounds like dealing with the guy on the floor. How's he looking?
He's got a knife in his back, literally, that's being twisted by Saturn. But he's also like shanking her in the abdomen as well.
Oh,
Barely.
It's a
that's
scratch.
no good. Let's put a stop to that. I'm gonna definitely take a shoulder shot to him, and really just take the power out of that stab, and then maybe he'll be good for questioning.
All right.
All right.
Make that range attack for me.
All right. So at a +3, it's only a 10.
That is not going to hit, I'm afraid. Worrying about your teammate, the shot just goes wide into the server rack behind him.
I'm going to try and pretend like I did that intentionally and tell him to drop the weapon.
Warning shot, right? Totally. Let's make the guy make a wisdom saving throw, I guess. Yeah, he makes that 10 on the dice, and then 1, I believe. Yeah. Up next, we have Mimic. It is over to you then, buddy.
Yeah, so he's gonna run over towards that window, try and see if he can spot the person who's running and take a shot.
Yeah. Just as she leaps for the window, I'll let you take a shot there.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that. All right then. Okay, what is my bonus for this?
So you should have like
+4 to hit.
Yeah, there you go.
That is a 17.
It hits.
Cool. And that is a D8 damage +2 for that. So that is 6 damage in total.
All right. I'll spend a few of her like hero points in terms of hit points. The shots just go wide. They just like clip past her ear as she falls to the ground out the window.
Damn it.
Yeah. Saturn, back up to you.
I am not in on the idea of getting this one to talk to us. I just stab him some more. I got 15.
That is going to hit.
All right. 3 plus 1, so 4.
All right. Yeah. So this is a stab, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you might, I think, like take the knife out this time and kind of like try and slash him a bit, stab into the abdomen or stab into the chest, kind of thing.
His face.
His face. Yeah. I mean,
Just right into his face.
it's like the kung fu dodging going on. So you try to slash at him. So he's slowing down a bit, and then we are over to him. So I am going to try and stab you back. That's an 8.
No go.
No. All
You're
right.
terrible at stabbing, I say to him.
Thanks. You're awful too. Rush.
Clearly I'm better than you. We're just having this debate now.
And so a budding friendship forms.
I sidestep the good Dr. Saturn and their conquest of stabbing and go to the window next to my good and friendly rival Mimic, and I want to take shots at Runner Chick.
All right. Take them shots.
Okay.
Just on short range.
Ow. Okay. No.
No. All right. She's making a dash for it.
Can I throw myself out this window as well after her? I'm much better in melee. I just gotta catch up, right?
Yeah, sure. Take 3 damage from falling.
Sure.
Just try and land on your ankle a little bit. Just roll it slightly. Yeah. But you're down and ready to run after her.
Good. Alright.
She's only got about a 10-foot advantage on you, actually, so it could be a chase you could win.
I got 40 feet of movement. I can catch this bitch.
Nice.
Feel the track. Tom Cruise run.
Tom Cruise run. All right. She's going to run. Move 30. So next round you can catch up with it. Decrypt. Still a guy here, still being stabbed, still trying to stab other people.
Yeah, well, he didn't like the warning shot, so I guess I really have no choice but just back it up at this point and try and put this dog down. So right to the dome, old Yeller style. So that was a natural one.
All right. You shoot again into the server stack. The server stack itself starts smoking, just adding to the atmosphere in here.
Aww.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Mimic, over to you. You're at the window. Rush
Yeah,
is
he's just gonna. He'll line up the shot, and he'll take the shot, and he'll try and aim for one of the runner's legs, and not the runner that he knows, the runner that is not our friend.
All right, sure. Roll that for me.
Sure, will do. So it's with a +4, which is a 7, unfortunately. So that's a 2.
Yeah. Ricochets off the pavement and off into one of the buildings, the masonry there.
Yeah.
Saturn, back up to you.
I'm getting real irritated by this dude. He's sassy, and I don't like it. So I'm gonna stab him for real this time, like real hard.
Go for it.
The vitalist of points.
All right.
Got an 11.
Sure. Go for it. It's like 5 to 4. Let's go for it.
I got a 6 total.
Okay, cool.
Whatever, he's dead now. It's fine.
Yeah, you know how like you kind of times get on. You're like, oh, the AC is dropping by the minute. Like, sometimes fudging's okay, kids. I'm just letting you know that. Hot take.
I'm like, just die already.
All right, yeah. All right, he does. You're stabbing him again in the neck, again and again and again. It's like you've got an arterial bleed going on. It's like spurting out the side of him, and he just finally. Why won't
I told
you die?
I was better.
Falls to the floor in front of you, like onto you. Yeah, and he's down. All right, Rush. Fucking, let's finish this
This
up.
is all
Rush.
I wanted.
Yeah, Rush. So
Right.
you dash for lightning speed, Tom Cruise style, for this woman. Good job. I want you to roll for me a strength athletics check to grapple her, to restrain her to the ground, and I'm gonna roll something to avoid it.
Pray for me, fam. Pray for me. That wasn't good.
Oof.
12.
I got a 15.
So
Alright.
close.
So
Can I like grab her hair and she just like gets free?
yeah, you like you tug her ponytail, and you like get a whole like massive like
The
strand.
wig just comes off.
Yeah, so it's a wig reveal. And she's got another wig underneath, like, and hair comes down. It's like, I'm blonde now, and you've just like sorted out her disguise.
Why am I always surprised when this happens?
So she bolts off in the direction of central London, and you guys are left with some dead dudes and a server building that's on fire. Let's, for the sake of wrapping up, clean up with Agent Anderson, who, having with you all, check the CCTV later, and the like fire department coming down, sorting out the fire. The Metropolitan Police having to repair their server system with all the decrypted information. CCTV of the area finally correctly identifies one Reina Espina. She is one of the directors of Oka surveillance, digital surveillance. It looks like they were trying to hack into their own data delivery system. So the data they would provide to the Met Police was encrypted end to end, and they did not have the encryption for that. They couldn't actually access their own stuff. So what they were trying to do is hack their own data. And so ends our disaster spy mission for tonight.
The last part though, Saturn is definitely gonna walk up to Anderson and just look him in the eye and get real close to his face and say, "I know who you are." Just walk away.
Yeah, there's nothing behind the sunglasses. There's no eyes. with robotics and stuff going on. There we go. I don't think you were disaster spies, Charlie. I think you were actually pretty good.
I'm sorry, what stream were you watching?
I think that 4 a.m. makes you very generous, Sam. Why don't we quickly go around the cast and crew, see how everyone is doing and where we can find you all, and then we'll cut to Mr. Webby to send us out with a last shout out about this wonderful game that we've been playing here tonight on Encounter Roleplay. Corey, how was that for you? Oh.
It's fantastic.
Sorry.
I wish my dice were more on my side with a lot of it. I think I can't wait to see what it's like at higher levels. This low-level stuff, it's great. I think it's hard for testing out systems, but I think it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait. I'm there. I know it's coming out tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Excellent. I'll be there.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
And hello, how are you doing? How was that for you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. That was very, very good. Really enjoyed that. It was a blast playing Mimic. Really, really enjoyed it. Very different than what I expected coming into it. And yeah, loved it. Brilliant. Had great fun. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Fatty, welcome to the Disaster Squad. Sassy and stabby. I like it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I had a blast. You guys are a really great crew, and this was I'm so happy we got to be fun and silly with it and be very terrible spies. That was so cool. It's a good. I love this. This is. I was telling my friend this is like Dungeons and Dragons, but with secret layers and international spies. So I love it. But yeah, I'm the Birdie Source, and you can find me all over the internet at the Birdie Source, and I will be back here on Thursday night playing in the Deck of Many Worlds. So I hope to see you there.
Awesome. That's in the 5 p.m. Eastern slot, correct? Yes. I know the schedule. Look at me. Don't forget you can catch DM Corey in the 5 p.m. Eastern slot. Also, playing some Learn to Play Ravnica Unleashed. It's an awesome crew, so if you like D&D, go and check that out. Hollow, I know you're playing all over the place. Go and check out Hollowtail's channel on the YouTube. Some wonderful DM tips, along with some super cool games that I am a part of. So I especially hype Unhallowed Metropolis, Britannia by Gaslight. Sam, let's bring the hype train to you. How are you feeling, dude?
I'm good. It's been a long-ass day because I have been finessing and putting the final touches to our Kickstarter page for tomorrow. We are going live with this bad boy 5 p.m. UK time, so that's 12 Eastern and 8 a.m. in the Pacifics. You can grab the quick start for the spy game right now on Drive-Thru RPG, so you can check out the game before we go live or even during. It is going to be a blast tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have some very early adopters, and that should all be awesome. So if you head over, we haven't got the like a preview link or anything for you just yet, but if you head over to the kickstarter.com tomorrow around the launch time or from then on and search for the spy game, it should come straight up for you there. So it's, as we've been exploring, 5e as you've never seen it before, modern, all about spies, espionage, international mystery and devilishness, and clandestine operations and stuff. There's all sorts of cool different classes that you could be, some original conceptions like the Face, all the way through to adaptations like the Infiltrator based on the Rogue, and also the Martial Artist based on the Monk. And yeah, if you want more information apart from that, you can head over to blackcatsgaming.com, which is the indie label we're publishing under, and you can also check out Twitter at Follow Black Cats. You can check me out around the internet at RPGWebby on like Twitters and Reddits and all that kind of stuff. And also you can check out my channel, twitch.tv/RPGWebby, where on a Thursday, even this week, we are playing After the Fire, which is a Game of Thrones tabletop RPG by Green Ronin. And we are playing a campaign set about 100 years before the books are set, just after the first Blackfire Rebellion. And there's lots of cool intrigue and this noble family, the Greenmonts, who are royally screwed because they don't have an heir. Everyone's getting married off. Like, it's all going nuts, really, as Charlie will testify.
I mean, it is a thing. We did decide to play on hard mode. What can I say? We like to derail. Sam, is there any one sneaky bit of spy info we can have about the Kickstarter tomorrow? Is there something in the upcoming products that we can know, top secret style?
Oh my god!
Won't tell anyone, we promise.
All right, there is a fancy cover that is Kickstarter exclusive to the game. That is going to be everything I adore about exclusive covers. So it's going to be sleek black with a silver deboss foil stamp of the spy game down the strip, down the front cover. So we've got a fancy like limited edition for that. Otherwise, you can get the art cover edition, which is the same art as the Quick Start, which is really beautifully done by Jaime Garcia. Really, really cool piece of artwork. And yeah, apart from that, we're building from the ground up. So basically, we don't have a load like the big publishers. Like I work at Modifius as well, and quite easily we'll be able to offer straight up like dice and GM screens and missions and this, that, the other. So when we fund, if we fund, then we'll get to the core rulebook, and then from then we'll be able to build in the accessories as stretch goals get unlocked, hopefully.
Well, you heard that top secret bit of info here first. Until we see you tomorrow for, I don't remember what's on tomorrow, but I'm sure there's something on tomorrow. It's very late here. Try not to roll too many nat ones like me. Be a winner. But if you do roll those nat ones, make sure we're there because we want to be there laughing or when you do. Good night, everyone.
Keepers of the Lost and Beyond Mountains of Dust.